Hey there, and welcome back to Daily Challenges, an educational monster train series where we try to push score on the daily leaderboards. I am starting this mighty late in the morning, so I'm not going to dilly-dally too much over introductions or whatnot. So let's just talk about the run directly here. Alright, so the run is Rector with root seeds. It's fine, right? Normally, if I were playing this at Covenant 25, my immediate jump to here would be something Dark Calling related, because Awoken has a lot of very good options and targets for Dark Calling. Now that is going to be, however, really slow for a daily. Which means, I think, realistically, we're looking for what? Paraffin Enforcer infused into an Animus of Will with Quick or something crazy like that. We want to go lightning fast, basically. I want to win in, what, 2 rounds tops? 1 round if possible, though that's pretty unlikely unless you see something like... What am I trying to think of? Bounty Stalker infused with the Giraffe with Endless, I think could do it. You know, if we can get them all out on turn 1, find a sketches, you know, something like that could win on turn 1. So we have some options. Now, the modifiers here are interesting. We have my true form, start with Mark of a Champion, Mark of an Exile. This is really only good on Burnout Rector, which does sort of play nicely with the Paraffin Enforcer option, so that would be nice if we have Burnout extension. We also see Brawl, so friendly and enemy units get +5 and +10. Our Pyre does more damage. This just means that anything we leak is going to be a lot worse. In practice, I think this also makes relentless combats harder, because adding +5 to a boss changes their landscape completely. This is actually a very difficult modifier to measure, because you're not used to the power level that it results in. Or maybe you are, I don't know, maybe you've played 1,000 runs with Brawl active, and I just the crazy one, but I think for most folks, this is a difficult one to estimate, and I think I'm going to struggle with this too. This is not an area where I can predict very accurately where my Relentless sits in terms of power level, right? Different thresholds, different everything. And then Moth Magic. When a damage spell hits a unit ascended, this has a few interesting implications. It means that we could potentially ascend a non-floating boss or a floating boss into our kill floors directly. This has benefits for things like Seraph, right? If we set up top floor on Seraph, then if we can hit him, we can boost him up to the top, and then when he leaves top, we can boost him back up and fight him 2 turns in a row. So you can end up with some pretty powerful plays there if you have something that actually enables those pings. A good example, a good target here would be like Cursed Vines. I'd be really excited about that. So those are some thoughts. Otherwise, someone scored 81k, and I'm really not sure how. That's a very fast win with obviously some very strong line. I don't even know what to predict here, right? I have no great sense. Probably Paraffin Enforcer or Bounty Stalker. Those are really the only 2 lines that in my head are fast enough to reach the point where they're actually winning and getting an 81k score. Otherwise, though, this is basically every single Pact Shard and all the bells and whistles, right? Early kills on flying bosses, 3 turns on every normal combat, etc., etc. If you're missing those, you're not in contention for the number 1. So. And I guess that's where we're at. So we're going to be pretty aggro. We're going to try our best. But our previous run, let's see, what did I do? I had a Reconciler loss, right? I don't want to talk about it. That run was bad. We lost on Ring 2. Incredible. And I was very excited about that run too, which was a big bummer. But anyway, let's go ahead and play this one. So as always, do like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's see what this daily's got for us today. Yeah, let's click the button and do it, huh? I have mods installed that are incompatible with the base game. I think I have pathogens enabled. I removed the other one, but I think that's the problem. Alright, I will be right back. We'll fix that real quick. Hey, look, and we're back. That was the problem. I was 100% accurate and correct about that. So, anyway, now we shall get going. Let's click the button. Hey, look, it worked. Wow, incredible news. Alright. I don't even know what would have happened to the game with pathogens enabled. I don't think it actually would affect the run, but it would prevent me from being on the leaderboard. But Still kind of interesting. Anyway, hope you're all doing well today. I'm doing just fine. I have a billion things to record today, mostly because I'm actually going to be away from home in a different state in the United States as of like a couple days from now. So I have to have the entire week prepared early and then also get it all uploaded early. So that's exciting. But yeah. All right, let's get in on it. Today we are, as before, default melting, Exile, Awoken. We're facing pushback Talos, Curse Fell, Sap Seraph, Molten Encasement, Steel Enhancer, Subsuming Blade. Sure, I suppose. None of these are particularly exciting, but none of these are bad either. You know, I'd be very excited normally about a Stealth Tomb because it gives you a good answer for Relentless, and maybe this will be relevant somehow, but it is slow, right? Because you're drawing and replaying a thing that doesn't really contribute to killing floors, so we'll see. One of the things that always challenges me the most about dailies is just how to be fast, right? This is not something I'm normally considering in my runs. I don't care if I'm fast. In fact, most of my Covenant 25 wins are way lower score, even though Covenant 25 has a score boost associated with it. So it's just difficult. It's something that I'm still working on, and it's one of the reasons I don't really see myself getting top scores all the time. It can happen, of course. Sometimes I'll luck into them or whatnot, but I don't see it happening predictably. Anyway, let's see. Temples today are on 4, 5, 6, and 7. Quad temples all back to back. None on ring 8. Fair enough. We have a removal dupe on 8 on the steel side. That's nice. We'll try to use it. Another removal dupe on 7 with a horde. Sure, seems good. Steel shops and magic shops on 6. So steel shop is a little better with the vortex and a cave. Another steel and magic on 5. Another vortex with the steel shop. A lot of good steel shops here, so if we need them, this will be nice. Magic shop has, just a horde and some health. It's fine. Another dupe on 4 with the remnant banner. Note that this does line up with our first temple, so potentially we could assemble something cool here and then dupe it. It is competing with a magic shop. No steel here, which does mean double steel early, and that's true. On the double steals, we have Awoken banner, Awoken banner. Looks like those are the only banner options on the early game anyway, so we'll probably look at those. All right, sure, seems good. Combustible wax is something I do think I will take prospectively here. I do imagine a world where I'm self-infusing Paraffin Enforcer or something, and if I'm doing that, I don't want to be reliant on finding good burnout solutions elsewhere. This is also competing with Trader's Quill, which I don't think is that exciting here. Yeah, we'll take Combustible Wax. And I'm going to look at the Forge. Yeah, Burnout Rector is now online. Great. He also benefits the most from the marks, which I appreciate. Dark Calling is what I would normally play here, actually, I think. Right at this for Covenant 25, I would take Dark Calling. It seems a lot more consistent, especially with double Awoken banners. But the game is not as hard at this difficulty, so we don't have to think that hard. We can just click Burnout and do big number. Take money. Take every Pact Shard the game offers, and we move on. Yeah, take the trial. We definitely get this one. I'm not worried about it. Alright, this should be fairly straightforward, right? I should be able to just completely sandblast this whole thing. The only thing is going to be making sure I can actually get the Collector, right? Which is not obvious. This guy has 21 health? Good grief. Well, let's spread them out a bit. Man, it's like, this Stealth Tomb has too much health to die. It's actually very funny. Alright, I guess I could put it in. It's not a big deal. I'd rather save the spot for dregs or something. I'll put it middle. Play it out, I guess you might as well. We actually don't win upstairs because the stupid Collector gets Brawl as well. That's very entertaining. I can put a Root Seeds up here and get the boost, and that's good. I like that. Look, we did it. Incredible work. This guy in middle doesn't really threaten my Pyre. He doesn't do damage, so I think the play is just double drag here, and then we just draw. I unfortunately cannot scale my own Subsuming Blade. Everything is out of reach for it, which is Really funny, but I guess it is what it is, right? We're definitely winning this combat. I have, like, no fear at all. Sure. Cool, we did it. I mean, that's pretty much as expected. Just press end turn. Okay. We get everything. Great. Wonderful news. That is a good start. Draft is definitely the click here. 100% this is the infusion we want for Paraffin Enforcer. If we go that route, we could potentially do a Paraffin Enforcer into this instead, and then gamble on draw orders. Those are also options. Razor Sharp. I'm going to click on Ensnare here, I think. Normally I would take Razor Sharp. It's pretty good to have a stat booster like this. We have the bonus health from the Brawl modifier. I think normally, I think I should take Razor Sharp, right? It is bonus damage that I think will make a difference. Alright, we might not always keep it, but it's fine. Animus of Speed, Husk Hermit, Wickless Baron. Okay, so this is not a Paraffin Enforcer yet. What's the fastest? Probably a Husk Hermit, I think. We don't have to make the decision on which the infusion is for quite a while. What you pick here does influence your run in a big way, though. I think it's the Sweeper. I don't see Baron. I mean, because think about how difficult it's going to be to kill our own units. From this position, even Burnout 1 doesn't do it because they get the Combustible Wax benefit, so I think it's not Baron. Animus of Speed is, like, it's a thing. I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's good. I'm going to take the Hermit. I think we can make that work. I guess we go to the right. I don't see a reason to go left here. Multi-strike in the shop. Alright. Awoken banner. Alright, Animus of Will is really tempting here. I wonder. Animus of Will, put the multi-strike in that. Hang out for, just find the Paraffin Enforcer eventually. That's what, quad hits, and then, yeah, 4 hits. If I'm imagining a world that's fast enough to reach 80k, I think it pretty much has to see a Paraffin Enforcer, right? I can't imagine anything else fast enough here. Now, maybe I'm missing it. There might be a world where we see a bunch of, like, Hallowed Halls, -2s, X5'd, I don't know. I mean, I don't actually think that's possible. There are no... Yeah, there's no option to do that before the X5 event would show up. I think it has to be the Animus of Will, right? I think it has to be. The Horde says Winged Steel or Root Split Mask. Reminding myself that I do have Moth Magic and didn't proc it once in the previous combat. The only thing I have that procs it is Subsuming Blade. Winged Steel. I want to play bottom floor a lot. I think I'm going to take the Winged Steel here. Normally I think Root Split Mask is the attractive option there, but I think this works out better. Animus of Will getting a multi-strike seems quite good to me. That's 4 hits. Really powerful. I think we could re-roll this and see like a +25 and be happy with it. Now, you might say Large Stone. The big advantage to Large Stone is it's very strong, right? The problem is it's reliant on seeing a Tiny Stone or Sketches or something. Can we expect that high roll? It's such a gamble. I don't think I need more health than this, if I'm being honest with you. I just don't think I do. I really like the damage this offers is great, though. But I think I'm at risk of neutering my floor space. Ooh, it's tough. It's very tough. I think it's too much to gamble on that. This is a great example of if I knew what the run was going to offer me. Obviously, this changes things. Like if I know there's a minor fraction in path, then that changes the world, and I absolutely slam the large stone. But I think gambling on that large stone is way too risky. It potentially turns a very high scoring run into a loss, or even or like a really bad win, right? You know. So let's just keep our space in mind and take a plus 25. I do think we need health because I need to buff it. All right, we're going to do that. Moving on. Okay. Mark of Invasion. We will play this. It's fine. There are ways I can make this work. All right. This is spicy and interesting. You play downstairs to get that kill. I put the Animus up top. We give her the root seeds and she crushes the floor. Now, to tank with a trained steward, yes, I think that's wise. And then Dreg in the back gets that kill. Okay, we're still at a point in this run where I can win with what's his name? The Rector. Rector can win this. Now I could keep top floor alive. Stealth Tomb. And then simply Root Seeds kills that. Then I can Hermit middle, Steel Enhancer for the Collector, drag downstairs to clear the floor, and we're in a decent place here, I think. Right? Yes, I think so. We should crush on bottom floor, right? I don't see how we don't. Yeah, we're good. We're golden, in fact. Great. You could even do stuff like ascend the one guy up, and he goes, woo, and flies away, and that's totally fine. Alright, cool. Yeah, we crush on bottom floor, we get everything, it's a pretty good combat. Burnout Rector with Combustible Wax and all the marks is extremely aggro here, and it's great. Dripfall is not bad. You can move loading bosses down to us. I'm not seeing how we get I'm not seeing how we get an early kill on, for instance, Talos here. Molded seems good, though. I will grab the Reform card. I think this adds value. I like Dripfall, don't get me wrong. Vine Grasp is useful. It's a ping that's accessible. It's free, right? But it's also a ping that moth magics them, which I think is also really good here. I don't need this steel shop for anything. So I guess let's just go look at this horde real fast, see if we roll into something great. Advanced Prototype pretty much guarantees us very fast kills here. Concussive Coals. I'm trying to think about if Concussive Coals ever really adds too terribly much. I don't think it does. Let's take the Advanced Prototype. This is nice because I think it will actually pretty likely get us faster and more secure kills here on the next couple combats. Bone Dog. Yeah, I'm just going to purge a card. Let's see, we've got 4 temples coming up. I need 8 units to make it work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, we can remove units and we're chillin'. So that's worth keeping in mind. Now, I think because of Advanced Prototype, the dregs are the worst thing here. I want to keep this draft because it might be ridiculously decent. I really think there's going to be... I really, truly think there's going to be a Paraffin Enforcer in this run. I can't see how we get fast enough otherwise. Right? I just can't see how we're pre-relentlessing Divinity otherwise without that kind of speed. Yeah. We can cut a drag here, I think, and that's acceptable, in my opinion. I guess, yeah, we got a drag. It's fine. I don't need this many dudes. I was thinking about Husk Hermit, but he could provide value in this next coming combat, so I think we're going to go drag out first. We have enough units, I'm not worried about this. We move on. Okay. Now, Talos is usually not too difficult. The difficult part is actually getting a prevalentless kill of some fashion. Anyway, I think this is a pretty straightforward angle. We just do a big buff like this. Train Steward can go and chill on another floor. Sure. Mid-floor clobbering time. Now, this is pushback Talos, so I think we can do Animus in front here. Train Steward in back. That is pushing a large amount of numbers here, which is great. I think there's value in buffing downstairs as well. Vine Grasp. We could ascend a floor together here, which is admittedly not terrible. Hey, wait. It doesn't count as hitting a unit if it hits damage shield? That is wrong. It means deal damage then, I guess. Okay, well that's TIL. That's a today I learned. I did not realize that it required I take damage. Huh, okay, fair enough. Some good mid-floor value. I think it is still better to play a Train Steward than to play anything else. We're looking at pushing damage numbers when possible here, so I think we can kind of just keep this rolling, right? Draft can chill upstairs now, sure. We're not doing enough damage to kill here. I could potentially, like, ascend her, maybe? Something like that, possibly? Buff like this and get a dreg shot, I think, is the decent play. That is, fortunately, a lot of damage we're pushing upstairs, which I'm happy about. Yes, still am not scaling anything. Not getting any kind of scaling done here. Now, I should be able to ascend my guy now, right? Yeah, look, it actually, the combat preview shows it. If you hit damage shield, it doesn't work. If I hit a normal thing, it does. Huh. Fancy that. I can super compile a good floor here, though, which I appreciate. This floor is doing a lot of heavy lifting. I like that. I'm going to buff here. A Razor Sharp does a lot of work there. I think this guarantees we win on bottom floor. I don't see a world where we could have pushed more damage here, but... because Rector is going to burn out, right, is the thing. But we do win on bottom at a minimum, which is, I think, good. Sure, we'll take it. Alright, now don't stab the boss, right? Or don't stab any of these guys because it messes it up. Alright, we do get a bottom floor. I don't see the way we pull that off otherwise. Earlier than that, you know, it's, I don't know. We could potentially have maybe come up with something. I don't think so. Alright, we're taking it. Cycle of Life, Adaptive Mutation, Spreading Spores. These are unhelpful, I think. Yes, we'll skip. A Lady of the House, Husk Hermit, Baron. I'm starting to doubt that there's a Paraffin Enforcer. What's the trick here? How do you get an 80k without Paraffin Enforcer? This is just a great example of me not knowing the lines. What is the other thing? I mean, I think I need to look at the Remnant Banner, so I'm going to the Remnant Banner. These units don't add anything, in my opinion. I guess you could take the Lady of the House, and that's a good target for a draft infusion if we do see something cool. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to take it. I'm going to skip that, I think. Space, I can kind of overstack, kind of. It's never... I have draw already. It's never Ember, right? I don't see a need for it. There's not enough root seeds here to justify taking Ember to support it. I think we just take card draw or something, right? That's okay with me. It is Curse Fell. I need to make sure I don't eat dirt there. Ember's not a bad pickup when I already have Winged Steel, isn't it? I think I'll take the Fell's Remorse, actually, to smooth out some of these cursed combats. I have Root Seeds I can benefit from. Man, now this is spicy. Broken Wheel? I actually really don't want Broken Wheel because I have to hold on to my units to infuse them. Judgmental Fittings. It's just Piercing, and I already have Piercing on one of them. Corrupted Cloud. I guess Corrupted Cloud is probably fine. We take the Vial of Tears at the end. It's not terrible. I think we can take the Corrupted Cloud and then leave. We don't want the Broken Wheel. Straight up, I need to infuse these guys. We're going right. Give me a Paraffin Enforcer video game. Okay, we're now in uncharted territory. I have absolutely no idea how we are expected to get a Pre-Relentless on the Divinity. Okay, what is our options here? What can we do? It's not Baron. It definitely is not Baron. Our things don't die fast enough. The floors aren't wide enough. We're not scaling quick enough. We don't have Remnant Host. Burnout 1 is bad. Our tomb situation is rough. I think we take the Lady of the House and what? Stick that in Animus of Will, potentially? It's a plus 15 stat buff. It's a 23 by 4. At least does 100 damage, I guess. It's so slow. It's better than the Giraffe, I think. Another multi-strike is nice, except for I have virtually no scaling for it. I think we have to take this lady. I don't really know, honestly. We're in what I would describe as a pretty bad situation. I will take a Spell Chain into Razor Sharp. It's going to be difficult to play it out without a -2 or something, but I need to put it somewhere. That seems effective. Purge. I'm going to Purge Subsuming Blade. This card is difficult to play, and I'm not going to be able... I can never get it off the ground. Nothing ever has 5 health. So let's just get rid of it. I must do an infusion. So this first one goes Lady into Animus, and we at least have real beefcake person. Sure, alright, it's what we have. Dark Forge says, I'm not going the Dark Calling pivot because things die so slowly. Let's go to Burnout 2. He's going to hit like a truck at least. We have both marks. Dupe needs to be something that gives me shards, which is basically the lady, I think. Okay. Alright, that's it. Let's move on. This seems bad. This really does seem bad, doesn't it? Like, no, everyone else is seeing it too? Well, that's a pretty decent floor, right? And then we can go... We have enough... I have enough stuff. I can simply do something like Train Steward, Lady Middle, and then this is acceptable, right? It works. It sure does. I'm going to face tank with a Draft here. Seems good. See, I could ascend the Animus up and create a super floor here, which is, I'll admit, interesting. It is interesting. I don't need Divine Grasp here, I don't think. No, we'll chill. Okay. We're clearing the floor, at least, and then you simply put down a Molten Encasement, and you're doing alright here. Sure. I will purge the random Subsuming Blade. Get rid of that. It ascends it, but I'm not mad about it. It's fine. I can face tank here, and that's good. And we chill for now. We're doing, I think, plenty of damage to win this combat, so that's no concern for me. I'm going to go ahead and take the double Razor Sharp here. I think this is certainly the play. Fine. Now, the bigger challenge that we're facing is my whole floor is burning out on the wrong turn. Whoops, I suppose. Whoops, I suppose. Do we win in one round? Maybe? Are you serious right now? I don't win in one round. Because of my burnout extension. So... that's actually awful. Alright, so how do I have to plan around this? I create a kill floor on middle with what, train stewards, maybe? This is stupid. The fact that I'm losing like this is bad. So I need to not pick stealth. It's just... ugh. Alright. Alright. That's dumb. I'm getting punished for my own decisions and I don't like it. I'm not a fan of that. The combat's not hard. It's just everything else is a bit of a bummer. So don't play... right, so build a kill floor middle, I guess, is the plan? Very possible, yes. I'm trying to think of the right way of doing this. I think we go... you get draft killed. We do still buff here. I don't think we play our other dude here, right? I don't actually know. What am I reforming? A dreg? I guess we can ascend this guy to save some health on the floor, which is fine. And then we chill. I suppose. Sure. I do think one set of stealth is good, but I need to make sure what, like... do I need to get him killed? Is that correct to do it? Possibly. It's possibly more correct to get him killed. Is that right? The problem is I need to either have ridiculous scaling that wins in one round, or... which can be done, right? It can be done if I can get that draft in play. Let's go that route first, I think. Don't be so obsessive about the molten stuff. Right? The stealth tombs and stuff. Let's not care too much about that. Things like this double razor sharp in play, for sure. We want to ascend a man to get to focus on this. Now, this is the potential draft turn, I think, right? So, this will live through Relentless, which does matter. I would like to keep the buffs moving here, right? We're going to draw the razor sharp. Okay. I think now we can do it, right? It's going to be close. The +2 I can do, and am I really 1 health? I'm so unbelievably close. How can I somehow pull this off? I find this ridiculous to me. I can't hit him because it doesn't work. I'm off by 5 health. Okay. We can do it. I'm off by 5 health. What a ridiculous waste of time. Alright. So hyperscale is the only thing I can think of. And the only way I can think to do it is play pretty much everything so that I'm drawing nothing else. We do want to kill the draft. I do think that's important. I want to play every single unit and buff downstairs, absolutely. Just start ascending floors together because I need space, right? key important part of this is I need space on my floor. So sacrifice units, we're buffing stuff, we're ascending them, we're playing dregs and everything I physically can. Great. It's going to be difficult to play every unit out, but I need to draw the super strong stuff ASAP. Okay. Just super buff here. Draw more cards. Fantastic. I'm going to ascend on mid-floor here. Great. So I can fit other things in. Cool. We buff. We buff. We keep buffing. Keep doing it. Now we reform the Seraph in play. Okay, he gets some hits. I can play out another thing so I don't redraw it. We're ascending the floor together. Okay, sure. Now, the whole goal here is how fast can I go? Alright, we managed to pull it off barely by just going super fast and super hard. Wow, that was close. Okay, had to get the kill in one. We're gonna need to solve that somehow. Give me a Waxen Spike or, I don't know, something. Remnant Host. Was it secretly the Harvest tech and there's no way I could have predicted it? Because as soon as you take the combustible wax, you kind of hurt this Remnant Host business pretty fast, right? Because those guys, they pop out and have 4 burnout and they never die. Sacred Wicks is... I don't think that's it. I can just redraw the molded pretty quick. I'm going to skip here. Engraft. Channel Song is not terrible. It's going to be hard to connect it to something really important. But, you know, it's not terrible. I think it's at least fast for now. I'll take it. It benefits most of our units, so that's good. Steel Shop is not really relevant. I do like the removals. Let's go to the Magic Shop, I suppose. Make some things cheaper. Possibly hit a Relic of Import. Sure. I don't really have a great opinion on this right now. Permafrost for the Molded is not terrible. -2 for the Razor Sharp is definitely good. Yes, I think that is an important take. Intrinsic for the Channel Song, we could potentially assemble something very good here. I'm going to take that as well. Infusion-wise, we need to do something. So... how badly do I want to get rid of this Hermit? Is he actually doing a lot for me? Not really. I could just remove him, right? I could just remove him. I'm not really sure what I want to do with this draft. I guess I could put it into the Hermit or something, but I don't want him. I think I'm going to go drag in a Train Steward because it's actually pretty efficient. Guy hits for 50 damage. That's actually very respectable because of Brawl, so I'm good with this, I think. Sure. Just keep pushing those numbers. We'll look at the Horde here. Exploding Candle is probably going to be pretty decent. Worn Grindstone is actually going to be much better. I have so many multi-hits in this run that this is just solid. Great. Let's actually remove Hermit. I have plenty of units still. I have 2 more infusion opportunities, and I think we're golden. So let's just cut the Hermit. He has gotten me some collectors, so I'm not mad about this. I do think -1 Root Seeds is good. I could Permafrost the Channel Song. Now this is good if I'm trying to connect specifically with one of my ladies. It can be very difficult to do that because I have so much junk in the run. Certainly true. I'm probably just going to send this most times on turn 1, right? Think about that. Because this money is points. I'm going to send it. I don't think there's any world I hold on to it. Let's re-roll here. Double stack. I don't even have a candidate for it. I do have something that can take magic power, by the way. So if we roll into +30s, we're not doomed. But I probably should consider taking something else if we see a lot of them in the next shop, right? How many more units do I need for 2 more infusions, I think it is? I need 4 units in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could remove 3 units here and be okay. 3 units and be okay. I do think cutting garbage is going to help us go pretty fast here. I'm going to keep in the cool Dreg Steward. That's pretty decent. Draft fits on the floor right now. I do think this is going to be a space pick. I think it's going to need to be, unless I see something like sketches. But, so that's the only reason I'm not removing a drag right now, is I think we can do better. I'm actually going to cut a molten encasement. Am I? This is potentially useful. If I cut a train steward, I still have 2, 3, 4. I still have plenty. Alright, I'll cut a train steward. I think that's a good place to sit. We'll move on. Alright, see what we can get. Mark of Invasion is annoying, but not impossible to deal with. So, we will take it. God, this is stealth, isn't it? Oh, come on. I don't know how I'm beating stealth. It's a pretty beefy draft. I do not have any burnout extension at all. That's really rough, isn't it? And to think I took a draft for this. You know, should I have known that I needed the Hallow Drippings that I skipped? This is a crazy situation because Covenant 25 has taught me a lot of really useful things that I have to intentionally ignore in a lot of cases in order to win dailies fast enough that I actually place. And every time you ignore one of those things, you go, there's a reason that existed, right? There's a reason I had that in my head. So, Hugh Director downstairs. He is Beefcake. It's good. I think I have to play the lady down on top here. I think I have no choice, which is strange but true. I think bottom floor we can actually clear this out. I think I can buff upstairs still. Maybe I can get her killed and then reformed. The reform is going to be the challenge here, though, right? It's how in the world do I actually kill the bad guys in time? I don't know. Now, as weird as this is, I think I do need to put double molten encasement in the back because it gets the collector. Crazy. I could potentially set up a self-kill here, which is valuable. I don't really know how I plan to address the boss, right? I'm just not sure how I'm gonna do that. I could kill my own and then ascend and then I don't know about this, but I'm gonna try it. I think we murder it, I send it upstairs, I reform Burnout 7 version of you. It does enough damage. Does it actually like win the combat? Probably not. I wish I could kill Rector here, huh? That would be nice. 6 turns, I don't think that gets it. I think elevatoring your floors together is going to be correct, strangely. Alright, we're doing a truckload of damage here, which is great. That's plenty enough to win if I can get hits in. I'm going to leave mid-floor alone. Maybe I mold back something. The Traff here, potentially. Molten Encasement maybe buys turns, actually. Eh, sure. Alright, fair enough. I'm going to ascend this Dreg so it passes away. How much stealth do you got? 8? Okay, 8. Got it. We don't get the kill on bottom floor. So I think the play is, yeah, force a redraw here, which is good. Buff the heck out of this. Take a molded on the molten encasement here, and then I want to ascend the about to burn out friend here, and that is now space that I can use to play the draft on middle. I don't think there's any world I do this any faster. Okay, now 3 turns. I could ascend and redraw the Vine Grasp here potentially, which is interesting. I think that's correct. We're going to send you upstairs. And then I have to play another card, so it gambles it. Now, if I play the Molded, I wouldn't say no to drawing Molded again. So I think you take the Molded here. What is the most likely to win? It's definitely Burnout 8 Animus of Will, right? And then we drop in Burnout 8 Animus of Will. Alright, we get the kill. It's narrow, but we get it. Alright, great job. Don't mess with it. I mean, I guess I can play some of these other buffs, right? It's fine. I think this is as good as we're going to get here. I don't think there's any world that our build, with the burnout management we have, can defeat Crystal Cloak on floor 1. I'm just going to be real with you. You could potentially think about doing like Train Steward Chicanery, but they don't live long enough. This guy's doing 20 damage. I'm going to let it ride. I think this is good enough. This is going to have to be it. Okay. Alright, well, we made it past this. That is 10% score lost. I don't really know what else to say. Wicked Blaze. It's not bad. It's a big damage buff, right? 10 on an Animus with 4 hits. It's pretty decent. It's not bad having a second one of these, right? I don't hate that. Engulfed in Smoke is probably superior, if I'm being honest. Prevents the situation of how in the world do I not die to Divinity, right? I think Engulfed in Smoke is correct here. Stealth Tomb will be difficult. Bramble Lash Ensnare. Ensnare replaces itself. This is a card I think is just really good for us to grab here. Okay. Alright, we get Vial of Tears. I think it helps. Sure. I don't really see any reason to keep the 4 self-damage in. Removals are not terrible. Magic Shop, I suppose. I guess I want to look at the cave because we could overstack. Like, hunt the cave. I don't even need the Steel Shop, but it's fine. Yeah, let's hunt the cave. I think this potentially high rolls much harder. -2 intrinsic. A -2 on Engulfed in Smoke is a good pickup. I will take that, yeah. The infusion situation is... honestly, self-infuse the tomb, I suppose. This will potentially have value here or there. It makes it a lot more efficient to play this and get it shot. I think I'm good with that. I do have to take this intrinsic, which could be Engulfed in Smoke. I do draw fast enough that it doesn't really matter. Merchant of Steel. Quick is nice if I could see a Pyrestone housing, but let's see what the cave has. Alright, yeah, Tiny Stone is good. I don't need space anymore, which is, I think, the nice thing. Look at this, Tiny Stone. Called the shot. I could have had the large stone this whole time, and then just assembled things. Look at that. I'm sure someone got that right. Crazy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Tiny Stone, but what about big? Huge. Huge stone, and then ascend floor with old magic. Make gigantic. Do 200 damage a shot. Add 3 of them to the floor. Right? I know you're thinking it. I don't know. It's a little tough to actually draw my pings. I have 1 of them. Now, I could have also kept the Subsuming Blade up to this point. That certainly is something I could have kept, but that card was expensive and not doing much for me. I kind of like Tiny Stone more, and then just jam a bunch of them on the floor. But this is a ton of damage. We're at the point where I am asking myself, how do I actually kill the Divinity and do enough damage to win? And starting at 200 damage on the floor with 100 hit points is pretty good, right? It's pretty good. So, you know, that is an option. And I think it's an option we should seriously consider here. It's really good, actually. I'm gonna Behemoth Stone here, I think. Gosh, I'm really curious to myself, like, looking at this, how do I actually kill the Divinity fast enough to win? And I don't think we do it by pinging out some razor sharp edge buffs here. I think we do it by getting huge and moth magicking the world together. I think that's how we do this. Okay, I clicked it. Behemoth. All right, that's promising, right? That's promising. Now, I am going to start cutting things pretty aggressively here. I think this is going to be Dreg Steward now has to go. All right, we have one last infusion coming up. Have I already done this one? I have, yes. There's just an intrinsic left. So one last infusion remaining. That could be a lot of things. I could cut the draft, cut the dreg, train steward removal here. Or rather, train steward and a train steward is what I mean to say. I think if I'm going to cut anything, it's probably cut the draft, cut the train steward, or cut the dreg, cut the train steward. Dreg and steward, and then we have combined draft and steward next time. I'm basically just thinking about what is the most useful for this next combat. I'm going to cut a steward, and I'm going to pay to cut a dreg. This leaves train steward and draft for the infusion. Cool. Great. I think that's fine. I must take an intrinsic. I'm going to take an intrinsic on Vine Grasp. You may ask, why the heck would I do this? The answer is simple. I would like to ascend my behemoths together on turn 1. Now this does mean I need to be cautious about a 10 in piercing and a plus 30 draw here, so I might need to consider another ping. If they show me a ping, tell you what, man, I will take it. I could sure use some more consistency in my moth magics here. So if there is even a ping I could see from Fel, I'm probably taking it. All right. Now, this is a challenging combat to 100% without taking damage. I do think it is Rector Bottom. I think Animus of Will Bottom potentially as well here too. It clears this floor. And then you Penance. And then we get the Channel Song. And alright, we rolled the Train Steward, which is not what we wanted. But that's okay. He still hits like a truck. Pushing 30 here. I can't move this unit. So that's fine. Yeah, I can't move him. So we'll just ping that there. It's fine. I didn't want to take Fel off the floor. Okay. It is mission critical, I think. And a miss. Huge. Big. Bottom floor is basically saying, how do I actually defeat these cursed boys so I don't get completely obliterated? Now, Fel has to go upstairs next turn. I guess I could stealth bottom floor and avoid taking this sap, which I like. Sure. Right. Has to go upstairs. Now, we can push big number boost upstairs. Bottom floor looks fine. Great. Play the curse. We're always playing the curse. There's just no world we don't play the curse. Now, what I do think I'm going to do is I'm going to play the draft upstairs. And I'm going to rise the train steward up. to push numbers here. Let's keep stealth rolling downstairs for now. This floor is doing a solid amount of work. It's a pretty good turn. What is it, 3 or something? Alright, let's elevator her back up here so she eats more dirt. This is kind of exactly what we're hoping for here, right? Is these huge elevator plays. We can now play out the Molten Encasement, get that shot, which I like. Now, unfortunately, we do take a curse next turn because we rolled, I guess, poorly here. But it's alright. This should, I think, this is unfortunately going to be a 3... yeah, it's a 3 Ember curse turn. We need to take 0 damage here. No questions asked. Now, how do I actually... I think I can potentially pre-relentless here. Possibly. I need to draw fast. I need to hold the guy on middle here, right? I consider that pretty important. Bottom floor is in good place. Great. Who gets this stealth? I guess top floor. Okay. Now, I will draw into the ping. We elevator the boss. We get the kill. Great job. Well done. Cool. We get the kill. We avoid taking a billion D damage as well. Fantastic news. Alright, we have it. Good. Great. Pre-relentless on Fel. It's not a great pre-relentless, but it is a 5 turn, and I will take that. This is at least like strong enough that I'm looking at it and going, yeah, okay, I think we can potentially pull this off. Our remaining floors are essentially we would dupe this Animus and we just make supersize. I'm going to take second channel song here because I actually do think we can use it. Just straight up. And then I think card draw is definitely the take here now. By the way, taking Ember there is pretty much the only reason I avoided damage on some of those turns and could still assemble that pre-relentless. Pretty cool. We are already moth magicking our floor together, so let's just take card draw. I'd like to draw faster. Yes, faster. Space is not required. Go to the right. Don't give me double magic boost. Alright, plus 30 on the Vine Grasp? Sure, I have to take it. Intrinsic? Second channel song? Sure, let's do it. Great. Infusion? Draft into Train Steward. I planned for this. Great. Maximum Pact Shards. Wonderful work. The Horde says Forever Flame is definitely pretty decent. Yeah, I'll take it. Sure. The removals here are straightforward. I think we do cut the stew here. I want to improve these channel songs. So we'll do that. We'll remove the stew now that I've infused him. I think we could potentially also remove the Molten Encasement if we wanted, but I don't think we need to. I think I'm probably cutting like a Steel Enhancer. Burn Bright, yeah, make him huge. I want him to basically hit for 200 and a bajillion damage here, so big fan. Yeah, no, nothing fancy. We're not doing accumulator nonsense here. Just hit like a truck. All right, the dupe here is straightforward. We want another huge lady. Now, I think we could, yeah, we could get 20 shards here by going a different route, but I think supersized lady floor is how we actually get the pre-relentless. So, let's go. Super huge lady. There's no cave here, right? No, all right. Super huge lady. All right. Vortex, I think the cut here is straight up a Steel Enhancer. It slows me down. I would rather see the Vine Grasp on pretty much every turn. So we're cutting this. Great work, go team. I'm going to leave in the Molten Encasement for now. This could punish us on Channel Song. We might still cut this coming up, right? We're going to a removal dupe, but we might still cut it. I think it's not going to punish us overly here, but Ancient Hate, whatever. Whatever, man. I'm not here about Ancient Hate. Great. See what I roll on this Channel Song. I mean, see, it did punish us, actually. Look at that. He's huge. Now, I kind of like Animus here. Now, Spell Shield means they don't ascend, right? That's true. Which is an interesting realization, huh? That's also true. So let's Rector Lady here. I do have Bell's Remorse. I guess I could self-ping here and then reform in kind of strange fashion. And then stealth, and we can push a little bit more a little bit higher numbers here. We want to avoid taking nasty curse business. Definitely play this top floor here. This is a great example of a combat where we do really want to play bottom floor. Alright, great. This is important because we at least clear now. We clear the Purifier in the back, which prevents us from being slow. So, let's do super card draw. I think we win here by just straight up playing bottom floor and stacking tons of stealth. So, I don't think it's a particular concern for us, right? The biggest challenge is going to be the burnout extension, which is, you know, the eternal struggle, I suppose. We might end up in a world where I actually have to get my own unit killed, which is just really funny to think about, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, it actually is pretty funny to think about. Okay. I'll pull him forward. I did this way because I really wanted to make sure we didn't have to worry about that curse there. Yeah, I am thinking that burnout is going to be a challenge on this particular combat. I do plenty of damage to win on this unit. 100%. Like, straight up no problem. Yeah. Alright, fine. So, with that in mind, yeah, with this in mind, what is the best plan here? I'm not actually sure. We're going to play this fast and loose real fast until, yeah, because we burn out here. Now, that doesn't necessarily bother me if I can draw really fast here, right? Draw super speed. Draw 9. Everything burns out except for top floor. Let's plan on winning. If I can hit the molded next turn, I think we're actually golden. So let's try it. I can't play the ensnare, unfortunately. Alright, we hit the molded, so I think we're actually super fine here because of the reform timing just kind of being perfect. Yeah, we're actually golden. Great, I even get it a second time so I could bring back something else. That's okay, we have the win. Good job. No damage taken, we easily kill the boss. Cool. Alright, that was potentially the most dicey one because we are delayed, right? Wax and Spike is a snap click. I've been talking about needing a card like this. Hallowed Hall's also actually pretty dope. We could just Hallowed Halls our entire floor together. It's actually better, right? I think it's actually just better to play Hallowed Halls than Wax and Spike. I was so excited, it ended up not mattering. Now, there's no temple here, so I don't have to think about things like pings. Otherwise, I would have taken Bramble Lash here. So I think we just skip this for money and chill. Alright, we are cutting the Stealth Tomb, by the way. He's gone. We're going to the right. Take the Horror, doesn't matter the order. Lost Luggage actually potentially punishes us in a bad way. Iron Drop Cage. Whenever you play a spell that would ascend or descend an enemy unit, also apply Dazed 2. Well, if I hit someone with damage, it would ascend them. So, yeah? I guess, right? I suppose. I actually don't think I want Lost Luggage here. I think it's going to mess with my... It's going to really mess with my ability to channel song the floor together. Drop Cage, I don't think I'm going to do this with the stealth applicable. So let's just take Sinner Salve so I don't have to think about what, like, chains and those curses on Divinity. I can just pop them for free. This is a very low impact upgrade. I guess I could even sell it for 25 points. What's your thought on that? Sell it for 25 points is honestly not bad. I think I'm going to sell it for 25 points. Yeah, okay, fine. You're going to need to show me something awesome here for me to really pop off and be excited. So, first of all, we are removing Molten Encasement. It messes with our channel songs, and it messes with our Hallowed Halls, and we have Engulfed in Smoke. So goodbye, Molten Encasement. Now, there are some things I would re-roll here for. Sketches on the re-roll we pick up for sure. So we take the look, right? We look at it. Okay, we didn't roll it. Now, Fate's First Blade. Let's think about that for a hot moment. If I'm Hallowed Halsing every turn, this is pointless. It does add damage otherwise. I don't think it adds enough damage for me to care. Hell's Banners, no. There were definitely some options there that are exciting enough that I take them, but we didn't see any. I'm going to cut the other Steel Enhancer here. I want to keep my ping because this assembles squads. It also brings Seraph back to his doom. Great. Fantastic news. Yeah, I am removing this card. Steel Enhancer, goodbye. The dupe here is, I do think, Very Large Lady, right? I do think it is Very Large Lady. Make another one. Now, it's going to look a little weird at first because it's hard to... If I have 3 of them on turn 1, where the heck do I put them, right? There's a lot of like space challenges and assembling the floor, but like if we draw fast enough, we hit the Vine Grasp, this is okay. Let's take another Very Large Lady, yes. Okay. Is it worth removing a card here? My redraw is essentially... Think about this. My redraw is just what? Engulfed in Smoke, Ensnare, Hallowed Halls, Molded, Razor Sharp, 3 Root Seeds for 8 cards, and Vine Grasp for 9 cards. I can draw my entire deck if I draw 9. And I can draw 9 because I have Winged Steel, which brings me up to net 6 technically, and a Draw Relic, which brings me up to net 7, plus the Ensnares and Root Seeds. So, with this in mind, I think we're in a pretty good state. The question is just, does spending 150 points improve this? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. If on an average turn, the only Ember I'm spending is what? Root Seeds, Hallowed Halls, and that's it. So, with that in mind, I'm not terribly worried here. We're not spending any other Ember. Like, obviously turn 1 is unique because channel songs and some other things, but I think this is good. Ensnare will keep enemies from ascending, which lets me pummel the boss further, which I like. It's a real shame we didn't see sketches somewhere. I was kind of hoping we would, because we definitely have the line that benefits from it, right? We're pushing like 800 damage on turn 1 if I could do it, but it's okay. Do I need Molded? That's the real question next. Is Molded is the cut, because I have the Hallowed Halls here. I'm not afraid of Burnout anymore. Molded is a dead card, basically. The question is really just, is it worth 150 for me to get it? I don't think so. I don't think it's worth the points, if I'm being honest with you. I think we just hang out at 14, 15 gold here and go. I think we go. We go. Okay, I clicked it. Alright, I'm reasonably confident we can score top 10. I don't think we can score top 1 here. Draw your people. It's a really good turn 1, actually. Play the other channel song, yes. I do this because I don't want to accidentally winged steel into one of my units. Alright, so the angle here is I want huge unit here. Great. I want other huge unit bottom. Ascend friend. Push 400 through. Great. Then we have Rector. Other Animus clears this floor out. Play other big one upstairs. Now, I don't know if this is going to be correct, right? Because it's going to cause him to bounce all about, which is maybe not ideal. Right? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Is it... We want to have one floor that's clearing these waves out, but also I need to assemble this group somehow. So the best way I can think of doing this is get a floor killed. Somehow. Somehow I have to lose a floor. I have to kill a guy. Play the Razor Sharp on middle. I think it's good. If I redraw it, it's fantastic. Yeah, sure. I'm going to go ahead and click that Hallowed Halls middle. I think that's really good. Great work. We're drawing 1 billion D cards. Sure. Alright, mid floor is really what I'm interested in here. We're going to go top floor now. Now, the important takeaway is I can assemble my floor a little more by just bringing you up, right? And then hopefully we hit the redraw on... bummer. I was hoping I would redraw the Vine Grasp. I had to play something, alright? So, that's okay. That's okay. We're still pushing 700. Bottom floor is still clearing itself out, which is good. I think the play is we go Hallowed Halls first upstairs now. This gets rid of the sap, or I guess it actually refreshes the sap, oddly enough. Interesting. Alright, well... I'm going to put the Razor Sharps in the back because it pushes all of the damage numbers at him. Fine. We stealth here. Whatever. Sure. Whatever. Fine. Now, he goes middle, I think, here, right? He goes bottom. So, I want to ascend the boss here. I would really, really like one more ascend. I can't force it. I think what we have to do... You know, I wonder, does it always pick the last card you play? There might be a better way through this. Hold up. I think I might be able to force this in a better way by not playing the last Animus here. This is a thought I had initially, is only forcing bounce between 2 floors. So... we still double channel song here, nothing too crazy. Great. Now, my goal is... big lady here. So one of the big ones on middle, one of the big ones on bottom. We still ascend it. We go Rector. We play it basically very similarly, but we don't play this one until I can ascend the floor together, right? This prevents him from going to top floor, which means anytime I draw my ping, I can force him upstairs, which is pretty tempting, right? That's pretty tempting. And we Hallowed Hall some floor or something here, I think, and that's fine. Yeah, alright, this will do. Then we go mid-floor, we buff some more, it's fine. We take a ton of draw order, it's okay. I will, like, guess stealth here, it doesn't really matter. Bottom floor clears out. You have to go... No! He does the thing. Obnoxious. So you play... what? An Animus upstairs now, which is... obnoxious that I have to do this. I then assemble another one so that I can do a bunch of damage here. I'm then going to draw a bunch of times because of course I am. I'm then going to Hallowed Halls here because it will represent a ton of damage to him. Bottom floor is chillin', I suppose, so here's some more stealth. They're just doing the thing I need them to do, which is I need them to win. Win turns. Alright, let's ascend you. And we're going to push numbers here. I want to push big numbers onto this floor. Yes, this is good. I like this. I'm going to ensnare... Interesting, the bottom floor actually doesn't get a kill finally. Now, you went middle here, so I think he has to go bottom next. So I think we want to ascend this root middle guy here. I could push bigger numbers here potentially, right? Possibly. It reduces stat and does some heavy lifting on damage. Ah, bummer. Well, it doesn't really make a huge difference, at least. If I can get one more turn to connect the dots here, I think we can do something great. Alright, first order of business. Get Seraph up middle. Razor sharp. Razor sharp. Okay, we actually can get the kill here. Simply by ascending. Alright, we actually do get the win, which is incredible work. Cool, I'll take it. 3-turn boss rush is fine, I think. It's finicky pulling this off, but we managed to take it. It's actually a 6-turn because he doesn't walk into Relentless, but 3-turn pre-waves, so a pretty decent score. Now, how do I do this for Divinity? I think it's going to be, what? Double Channel Song first, of course, see what we roll into. I love this Vinegrass being here on turn 1. We're going to put... I think I'm going to go Rector, 2 Space Friend, then you put Big Person, then we ascend Big Person. It's also super okay if my floor dies, right? Like, just unironically okay if I lose a unit somewhere along the lines. So, like, fantastic. Someone dies. Great job. Let's try to draw cards first, I think. Really loves redrawing that Razor Sharp, huh? It sure does. I'm gonna Root Seeds, I don't know, something. Get a Manimus? You actually shoot? Wow, that's impressive. Okay. Let you die on middle. That's actually great, because then I can bring you upstairs. I'm gonna lock down one of the guys on middle. I think that's fine, and we chill. I guess I could have taken the Hallowed Halls upstairs. There's really no reason not to have done that, right? True. Alright, first order of business is, I think... Interesting. I could actually ascend, could play you, shoot you, bring you up, and then we Hallowed Halls here and begin the process of big damage. Oh, right. Hallowed Halls has... have I been a moron this whole time? Hallowed Halls has the stipulation that it can't exceed. I'm a complete moron. How many people have been yelling at me about this? That's not a... You can't overstack that. Okay. You know what? Valid point. I completely forgot that interaction. Because I normally don't have 4 space units on my floor. Okay, so with that in mind, I actually think the correct play is to have a nice mix of units, right? The way I think we do it is we just have Big Friend downstairs that clears the floor, and we simply assemble a squad upstairs that we then stealth, to murder the boss. I think this is, without a doubt, the correct way of handling it, now that I'm looking at it, huh? And then we can just Hallowed Halls down here and it's fine. Crazy. Yeah, true. Alright, fair enough. Let's play this Animus middle because it is at least shooting the boss, which I do really appreciate. Add damage. Big damage number. I will click the Hallowed Halls upstairs. I think it's good. They do both get out, which is great. Take the draw. Nothing that I need to ensnare desperately here. So we're pushing a good 1,000 here. We're going to be basically, how do I push big numbers, pretty much. So it's not too terrible. Bottom floor doesn't look great unless I stealth it. I do think assembling my top floor is more important, however. Let's razor sharp a bunch here. Ah, a vine grasp is actually a pretty interesting choice. Huh. I think I can ping out one of these friends. And then I do think this stealth goes bottom floor, actually, because it does a lot of great work. And then I'm going to immobilize one of these friends. I did have the option to reform first, but I wanted to vocalize. I didn't want to harvest this floor out and then put the stealth down, so this is fine. Our goal is to go faster than the enemies here, right? That's it. We want to go fast here. Top floor not looking so great. We're going to solve this by the power of, you guessed it, simply playing stealth. Incredible work, right? I am an absolute genius. Don't click that. That's great. Hit engulfed in smoke. Great. Now we push 1 billion damage. I'm going to ensnare on middle, I guess. It's fine. Just keep that thing off the floor. And then what? How much do I care about chains? Can I win before chains becomes a thing? I think so, actually. So I think we can win before chains ever actually matters. Right? We're pretty close here. Play the Weight of Contrition. This forces me to redraw the Razor Sharp, which is actually pretty cool, I think. I think there's a way. I think there is a way to do it. I think there's a way. I have to think about this. If I had pinged him one more time with... We can get this, right? Go back to the main menu. I know the way to navigate this. I just needed one more route, one more ping on the boss. Continue the run. Okay, we should be able to squeeze out the pre-relentless on the turn we want it. Now, first order of business, channel song, these are correct. These both need to go and live upstairs. I want to ascend the one that has more health, so I can stab it, and that's okay. That is correct. I definitely played that wrong, actually. Whoops. I needed to have the smaller one behind Rector, as I accidentally put the smaller one upstairs, because they all kind of look the same to me. Alright, same order of business. Okay, here we go. Healthier one, 4 space, great. Less healthy one, 4 space, great. Rector, Animus. Assemble squad. Root seeds. Stealth downstairs. Okay. Fine. Alright. First order of business is we want to buff big time. So it's Razor Sharp upstairs a couple times. Hit him with the Hallowed Halls. Either draw there is pretty good. Alright, we get another Razor Sharp, which is honestly... Great. Play the other Animus. Yes, I do want you shooting the boss here. Bottom floor is clear. We are going to ensnare anyway. Molded not really helping all that much. Okay, fine. A decent set. Alright. Now this floor is when things start looking a little gross, but here is where I had Vine Grasped in middle. I think I need to Vine Grasp to ascend here, but I also think I can Hallowed Halls first on this one. So, Hallowed Halls, then Ascend, then Razor Sharp. Okay. This is okay because I have the stealth here, right? So we're doing okay. I'm not playing this Hallowed Halls again. The ensnare here is on big beefy thing. I don't really care. Play the root seeds. Stealth up top. Okay. Sure. Mid-floor looks dicey. It's fine. I'm not... If I can get 2 turns here, we can make this work. Play the Razor Sharps first. Important. And then the Vine Grasp. Ooh, I don't want to play the Vine Grasp on the boss, I think. Alright, we redraw the Razor Sharp, which is acceptable to me. We're drawing fast. I need to ensnare one of these guys. And I think it's... I think it's Stealth Guy here. Doesn't really matter. I do need to ascend one of them, though. Draw cards. Draw cards. Definitely engulfed in smoke upstairs. Lock down the one that has the spell shield, I think. Okay. We have the damage to get it, but there's an enemy blocking me, which is aggravating. Now, I think we can still push it, right? Yeah, we actually have the kill. Good. Great. I was like, I'm confident we can pull this off, right? We can. I keep my guys downstairs alive. They deserve it. But here I have the Vine Grass to be like, haha, Divinity, gotcha, dummy. And we win, and that's okay. Alright. Cool. That's a pretty decent one. A 5 turn on Divinity and a 6 turn on Seraph. Those are both nice. I like those. That's pretty good. I think we're top 10. I don't think we're number 1. I have a hard time measuring our math ahead of time, but I think we did pretty well here. Considering we didn't actually see the Paraffin Enforcer that I thought I was going to need to see, I think we're chilling at like a... Yeah, we're not number 1. That's okay. Yeah, pretty close to it, right? $200 off? Pretty close to it, so I'm not mad. Hey, look, they did the same thing, except they went tiny. Look at that. They did tiny. They knew the large... Look at this. They anticipated the large stone. Genius. I told you someone would know in advance what was going on there. Someone definitely planned for this. Adaptive mutation. I guess that's high value. Yeah, sure. That provides 40 damage. Cool. Spell chain in the Vine Grasp. Interesting. Sure. They got an 8-turn Seraph. Whew, buddy. That's good. That is good. 8 turn is wow. Very impressive, actually. Now, we actually outperformed on Ring 2, and we outperformed on Fell. I got a 5 turn. They got a 3. They took damage because I guess they didn't take Ember, so they had to take that 6% damage, and they got a 5 turn as well. So I outperformed on 2 combats, but really fell behind because they just had this, like, ridiculous 8-turn Seraph? Man. Help me out here. How do you push 8-turn Seraph on this one? They didn't even save any money, man. Look at that. We have the exact same Pact Shards. I have over 1,000 more points. It really is the difference between 8-turn and 6-turn, huh? That's like a difference of 1,800. But otherwise, our points are basically identical. Wow. 1,000 points here, like a couple hundred, we make it up. I mean, we're really neck and neck here. I'm actually very surprised that they managed to kill him in 8-turn. That's turn 2. That means they have to average 1,000, more than that. That's like 2,000. He had what, 4,400? Someone go look at that. I think he had like 4,400 or something. He's not too durable, but he is still durable enough. That's kind of impressive. So 8-turn. I don't think I could have pulled that off. I think this, I'm leaning towards this is legit. It seems like it might be possible. And I think it's largely because of Spell Chain into Vine Grasp, allowing the double ascends on a turn. That's actually, I think, a pretty decent play here. Now, it's also clear to me that he had another... He kept the Subsuming Blade, piercing 104 damage. You know? Fair enough, man. Fair enough. That's pretty impressive. 104. I wonder how he got it started. Right? Because it starts at 5. You can't get any kills on combat 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just... Maybe he had to stab them with Vine Grasp first, and then to get the Subsuming Blade. Because you don't see this plus 30 until, what is it, ring 7? So he clearly didn't put that in early, and there's no other upgrades here, so... Like, the other thing that's crazy is he's not benefiting from the Razor Sharp Edge that much. We had so much mileage out of our Razor Sharp Edge. The idea of not having the spell chain there seems crazy to me. Huh. Well, you know, fair enough, I suppose. Fair enough. Looks like they didn't take the advanced prototype. That's okay. You know, being honest with you, I'm pretty pleased with this. We're pretty neck and neck. I actually think I'm very pleased with how this panned out. I don't think we could have assembled a better Seraph, honestly, just based on the way our floor looked. We went huge, right? So he has tiny dudes. So all he has to do is play top floor and then bounce Seraph up repeatedly, and he has the spell chain to keep pushing him to top floor. We have a much less defined setup. I'm very surprised he has enough damage here to actually win. Just, I mean, I think it's, you get one good adaptive mutation, which, man, I don't know. That I'm very surprised he has enough damage here to really push out good numbers. The Wax and Spike is fine, but he doesn't have any Ember generation, so okay, he adds what? On one turn, he maybe gets 12 damage. It's a burnout extender at best. It's very strange. He doesn't have a lot of damage here, is an important takeaway. Adaptive mutation, it helps, right? That's like, we're looking at 160, right? I think. Yeah. Yeah, we're looking at like 160 damage out of that, which is pretty good on a turn. And then you've got the Wax and Spike, which is a decent amount if he plays it well, but it's just very difficult to actually set this up in a way that it kills an enemy fast enough. Very surprised by an 8-turn Seraph. This is like, I would be very interested in seeing how he did this. It's some pure RNG insanity, I imagine, because that's what, second turn? Right? That is literally second turn. So, crazy. All right, fair enough. Anyway, I mean, I'm pretty pleased with how this panned out overall. I think we could have taken the Wax and Spike over the Hallowed Halls, as I dead-brained took this thinking I could overstack without realizing, oh yeah, my guys are gigantic, so that's actually not going to work. But regardless, I think everything else we did felt smart, and we did a good job. Number 2 feels good. I'm happy about that, so great. And obviously that means today's video is going to be hecka late, but that's okay. You know what? We wanted a good episode, we got a good episode, so fair enough. Anyway, I don't have anything else to add here. I'm pretty pleased with this. A lot of good decisions, I think, and I think we did our best. We at least cleared 80k, which feels nice. Yeah, great job. So I will let y'all go there. Hey, thanks a lot for watching this. I really appreciate your time. As always, you can give the video a like if you want. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and stay tuned for what's next. Take care, folks.